All right, we're going to make a plaque with Lincoln Way Knight head, and then you're going to add some text as well. So I'm going to show that really quick. Seeing mine, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm going to kind of demonstrate how to add some of that information here. Didn't want to delete that. Undo, delete. All right, I want this. I'm going to delete my text. So I'm going to go to edit this sketch, right-clicking with my sketch 2, edit, and I'm going to delete my text so I can re-add that. I demonstrated earlier how to add an SVG. You're going to add the Lincoln Way logo as an SVG onto yours. I made my shape here. Let me finish this sketch here. This is 6 by 8, so this is 8 inches by 6 inches, and this is 3/4 inch thick. This is going to, your size you're going to need is going to depend on the block of wood that you're using. So you're going to have to grab a piece of wood that you think looks nice, and then you're going to have to measure it and then create your template for your block of wood using those dimensions that you measure. So I just chose 6 by 8 for this to be practical here. So I am now going to go back into this sketch here, and I'm going to edit sketch 2. So nope, I'm not sketch 1. I'm going to edit sketch 2. I'm not going to show how to put an SVG because I already did that, but I am going to show how to add some text here, the way that works really well for our CNC router. I'm just going to add Mr. Moneyke. When you first do this, it's probably going to be at Arial, like this. So notice this is kind of a blue text, it's a blue block. For what we're just gonna trace these lines, and we don't want this to trace, so you actually have to scroll up and you have to choose one of these text fonts that have .shx. I'll go through them. That way it's a single line here, where it's not blocky, it's just a single, like a pencil line. And then choose the height that you like. I did 7.75. I'm not sure which, I don't remember what size text I had, but you kind of change it depending on what you're doing here. You can change your size. I have mine centered and then kind of aligned in the middle here. I like, and press OK, and then you can change the size. Why did it tilt it? Why is it doing that? I don't know why it's tilting it, but we'll go right there, and I'm going to press Finish Sketch. So notice then those are lines here. All right. For yours, I want you to be adding kind of the year you're going to graduate, class of 2026 or 2027, whatever it is. Maybe it's class of 2030. You could put your name. You could put in what sports or activities you're in. Maybe part of the track. Maybe put track club, or maybe some awards you've won. Add whatever features you want to kind of make this about you, and add text or lines or whatever you want to do there. Okay. So then should have something similar to this. Okay, now we're going to go to the manufacture mode. So I'm going to click over to manufacture, and the first thing we want to do is a new setup. And for our CNC routing, for most of what we're going to do, we want our origin to be in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to choose the top here, and you notice they have a little bit extra here, and we'll take care of that in a second. So for operation type, we want to make sure we select milling. You can select the model, the body there. For stock, in the stock tab, we're going to add no additional stock. So we don't want any additional stock because we measured it. We want what it's going to be. So we want to take that off. Finally, post-process the program. You can rename it if you want. Work offset, we want to make sure we put a 1 in there and press OK. Okay, so now I have my setup ready to go. Next thing we're going to need to do is get our tool library. I have been using Speed Tools router bits, and so what I need you to do is go to Google, and you're going to do Google Speed Tool router bits Fusion database, and it's right here. Maybe I'll put this in Teams actually. If I don't put it in team files, you can find it here. So here's your Fusion 360, and you can download this. Okay. Back in Fusion, we're going to go to Manage, and we're going to go to Tool Library. And then we have to upload those. So I believe you're going to come over here, and this always kind of changes depending on what we're doing here. I'm going to right click under Local, right click, and you're going to Import Library. And then you're going to go find the one that you did, and you're going to press Open. and you can see mine's already done. So then you'll have all the speed tool um, that we're going to use, or that they have. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to 2D, and we're just going to do a trace. We could choose an engrave, but I want to control my depth a little bit more, so I'm going to choose trace at first here. For the tool, I'm going to come here and select tool, and I'm going to go make sure I am in my speed tool Fusion 360 library, and you can see all these tools. I'm in milling, and I'm actually going to go to engrave over here just to make it smaller of my selection. And the bit that I want is W06007, and I'll show us in class what that bit looks like in person. So I'm going to select that. And then you notice I like the speed tools with their settings because it's all from their factory settings, works really well. And then we're using hardwood, so it's going to change our settings based on that. For the next tab, tool orientation, then we're not going to do anything. For geometry, now I'm going to select all the lines that I want to engrave from my knight head. So I'm going to get all my face shield. I don't want that little middle circle, so I'm not going to select it actually. Try that again. I don't want my face contour, so I'm going to delete that. So I want to make sure I take time making sure I'm selecting my lines, and I also want my name. I select the wrong thing again. There it is. There's got my name. Alright, so now I have all the lines that I want engraved. I did not select my middle one there. I'm going to go over to heights, and I'm not going to make any changes here. This is our retract height, clearance height, retract height, feed height. I like all those presets. We really don't have to change those too often. For passes, now, this is where I'm going to change. If I don't change this, it's going to go to the depth that it wants that bit to use. I'm actually going to do a negative, and if I want to go negative, if I want to engrave in, I'm actually going to go -1/16. And then I'm going to hit select smoothing, and I'm going to come over here to linking. I don't need a lead in and a lead out on here, and I'm going to press OK. And it should generate my toolpath. I got green check marks, that's good, and you can see kind of everything is engraved. I can come over to trace 2, and I'm going to right click this, and I'm going to choose simulate, and it's going to go here, and I can change my settings of what I want this to look like a little bit. I can scroll down, I can change my model, kind of how I want it to look, viewpoint there, all that. If you want to just look at the shaft, the flute, the holder, I want a little bit of everything. I can show all the links, the lead in, lead out if I want. Generally though, I'm just going to leave that here, and then I can press play. I can slow it down here. I'm going to slow it down just a bit. Press play, and this is what it's going to actually cut. I can zoom in here and kind of watch at a 16th how big this is and how deep it's going to look like. So if I go deeper than that, I don't really like the look of it. I like a 16th look. I could also change the bit, but this is the bit I want to start with. We'll see how it looks. I don't even love that much. Alright, and then it's going to look like that. So I'm going to exit this, exit my simulation here, and then I also need to get my post for our CNC machines. So depending on what machine you're going to use, you do it the same way. Or in team files here, I'm going to go to shared and class materials, and I'm going to choose my folder for 3D machining, and then I'm going to go to router. And then under posts, I'm going to select posts, and you're going to see a bunch of different ones. So if you're using the Techno HD2, that's right here. And if you're using the Patriot, you're going to download this one. So Techno, the HD2 or the Patriot, you're going to download those. So I'm going to download. You could download them both just so you have them too. Download both to your computer, and then under manage, we're going to go to post library. And then mine are already in here, you can see. But if I go to my posts, if I go to local, mine are in my cloud. But I can come up here to import, and you're going to then find your download. There's my downloads, and then you're going to import those in. Okay? and then you can see techno hd2.nc. I'm going to close that. Alright, so now I have my toolpath ready to go. I'm going to right click my toolpath and I'm going to post process. That's going to get it ready. So then my post up here, kind of like what we did for our plasma cutter, I'm going to find my hd2.cps, that's my post here, .nc, that's good. I'm going to select that. I'm going to rename it, my last name, LWC plaque. My output folder, you can save it to your OneDrive, and then you can always add it from there to a flash drive to get to the actual router itself. So I'm going to select that folder. Alright, document settings, don't need to click any of that. Configuration, make sure, this is where we get mistake. If you're using the HD2, HDS series, we need to make sure we select HD2. And then format, all of this, we're okay. Machine simulation, we don't need anything else there, and I can post that. And then it's successful. I can view the code. It's not gonna, we don't have the right software to view that code actually. It might work. But then you can bring that to the machine, and I will show us in class how to set the machine up so that we can actually get this all routed out. So, alright, good luck. Let's hopefully this works for everyone, and we'll see how far we get with this. Let's see what this G code looks like. Let's see if I can